Okay, we're here at the front door. We're starting at the front door, going around counterclockwise. It's a beautiful gray 40-degree day in North Texas. Slab foundation. This is the final inspection. We've done a pre-drywall inspection, so some of this stuff may be redundant or may be covered in the other report and brought back up to your attention. Now, at the front of the house, we've got black shutters on most of the windows. Not that window up there, but these and this and this and this. These windows have faux shutters on them. They're not really faux shutters. They look like they're articulate. Excuse me. I got the clamp on there. It keeps them closed. I got the latch. But these windows will not close 100%. Should you want to do that? I don't know, where there would be a reason or a cause, but when you see these there and you look at the hardware, you make an assumption that they're articulate and that they would work for you if you had some kind of a desire to do that, but no, they don't. Let's try this one over here. I've tried two already, and they're all the same. They just won't do it. But I saw this open over here, and I just didn't want the wind to catch it. So here we are. Let's move around. Where do termites live? In the ground. Huh. What do they eat? Dead wood. Huh. What's wood mulch? Dead wood in the ground next to your house. It's called a clue. It's called a clue. That's conducive to wood-destroying insects. I know the house is too new for that. It probably has some preventative treatment, and I know all these things. But eventually it's going to come. There's a time it'll come to pass when you're likely to find some termites in that. Just saying. Maybe your main clean outs, sewer clean outs. Moving along here, what we've got is this casement. I want to address this garage wall here in just a moment. This sealant is how we seal the wall to the bricks. Okay, the vertical casement board to the bricks. And that's what we need to use. Sealant is to be maintained. Sealant dries, shrinks, it pulls away from the brickwork. Okay, that's inevitable. But we come up here and we look at this casement board and look up there where they took that big gouge out of it. All right, and so instead of replacing this board, what they did is they just filled it with sealant. And that's too much. That's really not a repair. Okay, that's a patch. Okay, that has not been corrected. That's a patch. And one that's going to become readily visible sooner rather than later because of the size. So whereas this sealant might perform, for a few years, 2 years maybe. Okay, well up here, you're going to start getting gaps developing in between your brickwork and your wood, and moisture can penetrate. This crack right here is very small. You got another one on the other side. Okay, but you got vertical cracks through the mortar right there, and it's just an easy patch. It's not the house isn't falling down. The house isn't moving. We kind of expect them in these locations. That doesn't mean that it's right. Doesn't mean it should happen. Okay, but that's kind of the case. Move around here. Ooh, the wind's coming through. We've got a whole video for these. As we move through here, today's a good day to check for your grading and drainage because it rained like crazy this morning, and so we don't have the water sitting here. Did the inspection for me. I like that. Moving on along here, this door is installed inside out. The hinges do not have tamper-proof hinges. The door does not have tamper-proof. The hinges are not tamper-proof. Out here, you can see that the pins could just be pulled out and the door is slid down. Okay, they'll probably break a window to get in, but that door is installed inside out and it's missing a security feature. And I sure do like the grading and drainage. Okay, Yahoo, wind. These are the water heater pressure relief valves. Maybe temperature pressure. I haven't found the water heater just yet. But this is a water heater pressure, temperature pressure relief valves. Drain pipes. And a house this size, you might have two. I'm seeing 3 pipes, so you've probably got 2 water heaters and one for the safety pans. Okay, safety pan is supposed to be between 6 and 24 inches, so whichever one of those would be the safety pan. Drain pipe, it would be sufficient. The other 2, which would go to water heaters, they're supposed to be between 3 and 6 inches from the ground, and so they're too high. And so when the water comes out of there, it comes out at 200 psi at 200 degrees, and it could, it's pretty violent when it comes out. And those pipes are supposed to be extended so that if you got a little dog coming around here, or your kid, or anybody, the yard crew or whatever, and one of those things lets loose, it's a safety feature. So that's what we're talking about. Now this parge coat is like a cake frosting, and I can't remember if we talked about this on the other inspection report or not. So I don't really remember the parge coat being here yet, which was good. So we got to see it before and after, or maybe it was. But the concrete and the parge coat, okay, they move at different rates, and there's always, that different pressure on the 2 materials. It's like a cake frosting. If the cake frosting is cracked, it doesn't mean your foundation is cracked. If the cake frosting is not cracked, it doesn't mean your foundation is not cracked. Okay, it's just an aesthetic issue. Structural Pest Control Board says that I call that conducive to wood destroying insects, kind of like the wood mulch, because termites can travel through the void between the parge coat and the foundation and make their way into your home. Okay. Trees should not be closer than 25 feet to a residential structure to make room for the root systems, and so the roots don't rob your foundation of moisture. And I know that's a cute little kitten right now, but that'll grow up one day. And I also understand and know that there's a homeowners association here, and everybody has to have a tree in their backyard, and that's just the way it's going to be, but it shouldn't be there. I'm going to call it a deficiency. Moving on along, our rain gutters are below grade. Up here, up and up and up and up. This is where our kitchen, I remember talking about that in the other video. I'm not working with the electrical right now. I will today, but we're not messing with the receptacle outlets because the electrician's still finishing up his work here. And this is where the exterior kitchen goes, and I already talked about that. So some of these things I already talked about. I also see that the grading and drainage is really good on this side. So now we're moving on along here. This is the breakfast area in here, and so this is the north window in the breakfast area, and we're missing some of our mortar. Or not missing it, but we got some cracks. The mortar didn't seal around this one brick right here. How are you? You're kind of loose too. The brick's kind of loose. That's why you want the mortar in there. See that? Okay. We got 2 control joints on this wall, and some of our sealant. We got some holes and gaps in our sealant right there. More gaps. Oh, this is where the gas enters the house. Tree too close.